All right, thanks, guys. Happy Sunday to you. Coming off another perfect day on Patreon for Saturday's action. We went 3-0 in our Patreon plays. That's going to put us at 8-2 in our last 10 plays on that website. We're also 23-10 in our last 33. Now, we do have a couple different tiers in that website. We're 7-2 in our last 9 daily best plays. We're 6-2 in our last 8 underdog plays, and we're 21-10 in our last 31 daily double plays. So check me out on that website, patreon.com/BrockPage. Link for that site is in the description section below. I highly recommend you check that out. Also, make sure you hit the like button right here on YouTube. Hit that like button, and basically that'll make the content better and give me a farther reach. That's what I was told yesterday. So smash that like button and help me get more reach. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, we have a pretty good slate here for Sunday, a big slate. So let's go ahead and dive into it. And we are going to begin here with the Blue Jays taking on the Orioles, 1:05 Eastern first pitch in Baltimore. The Blue Jays are minus 140, totals 11. We saw a 10-cent fade of Toronto and movement downward on the total. The Jays open $1.50 down to 140. Total open 11.5 down to 11 flat. 56% are leaning Baltimore, 51% shaded toward the over. Right now the O's are plus 130 on the money line. The Jays are plus $1 on the run line. We have Sean Reed Foley for the Blue Jays, Jimmy Yacobanis for the Orioles. Now, if you like the Blue Jays in this matchup here, they're coming into this game with a .398 win percentage overall for the year. They're just 45-68. That's going to put them at 23 games under 500. They've also won just 25 out of 59 away from home. The Blue Jays rank 29th in hits on average per game, which is second to last in Major League Baseball. They also are 29th in walks allowed. Now, Baltimore on the other side, winners in 2 out of their last 4. They're also 5-4 in their last 9. Now, total-wise, the Orioles are 67% to the under in their last 9 at home. I'm going to lean Baltimore plus 1.5 and the under 11 runs in that game. Next matchup, White Sox, Phillies, 1:05 Citizens Bank Park. The Phils are minus 155, totals 9.5. We saw a 10-cent fade of Philadelphia and movement downward on the total. The Phillies open $1.65 down to 155. Total open 10.5 down to 9.5. 61% are leaning Philadelphia, 55% shaded toward the under. Right now the White Sox are plus 145 on the money line. The Phillies plus $1.20 on the run line. We have Ronaldo Lopez for the White Sox, Dylan Smiley for the Phils. Smiley is 1-0 with a .69 ERA and a 0.85 whip with the Phils. He also has 13 innings under his belt with the fight in Phils. Now Lopez on the other side for the White Sox, just 5-9 on the year, 5.43 ERA, and a 1.46 whip. The Phils are tied with Washington for that second wildcard spot right now. They're also 34-25 at Citizens Bank Park, 4-2 in their last 6 ball games at any location. The Phils are also 48-27 as the favorite. Now the White Sox on the other side, losers in 5 out of their last 6. They've won just 20 out of 53 away from home. The White Sox rank 28th in scoring, 26th in striking out. And when it comes to the total, Chicago's 5-0 to the under in their last 5, 80% to the under in their last 5 on the road. Meanwhile, the Phillies are 80% to the under in their last 5 at home. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Philadelphia minus 155 and the under 9.5 runs in that game. Next matchup, Marlins, Rays, 110 Tampa Bay. The Rays are minus 170, totals at 8. 66% are leaning Tampa Bay, 68% shaded toward the over. Right now the Marlins are plus 160 on the money line. The Rays plus $1.15 on the run line. We have Caleb Smith for the Marlins, Yadi Chirinos for the Rays. Chirinos is 8-5 with a 3.70 ERA and a 1.08 whip. Chirinos also has 106 strikeouts and just 121 innings pitched. Tampa Bay is just a half game, are they back? No, they're ahead. Tampa Bay is a half game ahead in that second wild card spot. So if the season ended today, they are in. Once again, Tampa Bay half game ahead for that second wild card spot. They are 9th in hits, 1st in runs allowed, and 3rd in striking batters out. Tampa Bay's 5-0 in their last 5, 50-37 as the favorite, and they rank 3rd in hits allowed on average per game. Now, Miami on the other side, they have the worst record in the National League. They are just 42-66 overall for the year, 24 games under 500, 389 win percentage. They're also 29th in scoring, which is second to last in Major League Baseball. Now, total-wise, the Marlins are 33-18 to the under on the road. I'm going to lean Tampa Bay minus 170 and the under 8 runs in that game. Next matchup, Angels, Indians. 1:10 Eastern first pitch in Cleveland. The Indians are minus 205, totals at 9. We saw a nickel move toward the Indians and movement downward on the total. Cleveland opened $2 up to 205, total open 10 all the way down to 9 flat. 68% are leaning Cleveland, 67% shaded toward the over. Right now the Angels are plus 190 on the money line. Cleveland minus $1.05 on the run line. We have Jaime Barria for the Angels, Shane Bieber for the Indians. Bieber's 10-4 with a 3.40 ERA and a 1.01 WHIP. He also has 174 strikeouts in just 140 innings. Barria on the other side for the Angels, 4-4 on the year, 6.28 ERA and a 1.47 WHIP. The Indians are in first place in the AL wildcard situation. 20 games over 500, 65-45 overall for the year. They are 4th in runs allowed. The Angels on the other side, losers in 4 out of their last 5. They've won just 2 out of their last 9 ball games as well. And they're just 1-14 in their last 15 in Cleveland, if you're into historical trends. Now, the Angels are 21st in runs allowed, 23rd in walks allowed. They've won just 19 out of 45 as the official underdog. When it comes to the total, the Angels are 4-2 to the under in their last 6, 31-24 to the under on the road. The Indians on the other side, 34-24 to the under at home. Give me the Indians minus 1.5 and the under 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Reds, Braves, 120 Atlanta. The Braves are minus 125, totals at 9. No movement on the total as of yet. We did see a nickel move toward the Braves in the early wagering. Atlanta opened $1.20 up to 125, totals at 9. 61% are leaning Braves, 52% shaded toward the under. Right now the Reds are plus 115 on the money line. Braves plus 160 on the run line. We have Sonny Gray for the Reds, Julio Teheran for the Braves. Teheran's coming into this game with a 3.38 ERA and 114 strikeouts in just 125 innings pitched. The Braves are first in the NL East, 20 games over 500 at 66-46 overall for the year. They are 7 games ahead of the Nats and Phils in the division. They're also 32-24 at home, 55-28 as the favorite, 6-3 in their last 9. Couple more things to add about the Braves. They are 6th in scoring on average per game and 7th in hits. Now the Reds on the other side, winners in 5 out of their last 16 when traveling. They are 4th in the NL Central, 7 games under 500 at 51-58 overall for the year, and they are 7.5 games back in the NL Central. The Reds have won just 22 out of 54 away from home. They've also won just 26 out of 64 as the underdog. They rank 27th in road hits. Now, total-wise, the Reds are 35-19 to the under on the road. Give me the Atlanta Braves minus 125 and the under 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Mets, Pirates, 135 Pittsburgh. The Mets are minus 135, totals 8.5. We saw a nickel move toward the Mets in the early wagering here. They opened $1.30 up to 135. Total open and remains at 8.5. 59% are leaning Mets, 56% shaded toward the over. Right now, Pittsburgh is plus 125 on the money line. The Mets are plus 125 on the run line as well. We have Noah Syndergaard for the Mets, Joe Musgrove for the Pirates. Musgrove's 8-9 on the year with a 4.23 ERA and a 1.20 WHIP. Syndergaard on the other side, 7-5 on the year, 137 strikeouts and just 134 innings pitched. The Mets are 8-1 in their last 9, 9-2 in their last 11, 4 games back in that second wild card spot. The Mets are also 7th in striking batters out and 9th in road hits. The Pirates on the other side, losers in 6 out of their last 7 at PNC Park. They've also won just 2 out of their last 13 ball games at any location. They are dead last in the NL Central, 11 games back in the division, 48-62 overall for the year, 14 games under 500. Now, total-wise, Pittsburgh is 5-1 to the over in their last 6. They're also 36-16 to the over at home. I'm going to lean New York Mets minus 135 in the over, 8.5 runs in that game. Next matchup, Mariners, Astros, 210 Houston. No line currently posted for this game. Looks like we're going to have Matt Whistler for the Mariners, Justin Verlander for the Astros. Verlander's 14-4 with a 2.73 ERA and a 0.81 whip. He also has 196 Ks in just 151 innings. Houston has the most wins in the American League. They are 72-40 overall for the year, 32 games over 500. Meanwhile, Seattle on the other side, winners in just 21 out of 55 when traveling. They've also dropped 12 out of their last 13 on the road as well. No line for this game. I know Houston's going to open up as the favorite, so give me Houston minus 1.5, getting the job done for some run line cash. All right, next game, Royals, Twins, 210 Minnesota. The Twins are minus 205, totals 10.5. Not a whole lot of movement on the total. We did see a nickel fade of Minnesota in the early betting. Minnesota opened 210, down to 205, totals 10.5. 69% are leaning Twins, 51% shaded toward the over. Right now the Royals are plus 190 on the money line. Twins minus $1.05 on the run line. We have Brad Keller for the Royals, Jake Odorizzi for the Twins. Odorizzi's 12-5 with a 3.73 ERA and a 1.19 whip. He also has 113 strikeouts in just 108 innings. Brad Keller on the other side for Kansas City, just 7-10 on the year, 4.01 ERA, 1.35 whip. Minnesota is third in scoring, second in hits, first in the AL Central. They're also 26 games over 500 right now at 68-42 overall for the year. The Twins are 33-21 at home as well. Now, Kansas City, they are 29 games back in that AL Central, 29 games back of these very Twins. They are also 32 games under 500 right now at just 40-72 overall for the year. The Royals have won just 17 out of 54 on the road. They have the third fewest wins in Major League Baseball. Now, total-wise, the Royals are 31-23 to the under on the road. I'm going to lean Minnesota Twins minus 1.5 in the under 10.5 runs in that game. Next matchup, Brewers, Cubs, 220 Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Cubs are minus 140, no total as of yet. We did see a nickel fade of Chicago in the early wagering. They open $1.45 down to 140. Once again, no total posted as of yet. 61% are leaning Cubs, and at the moment the Brewers are plus 130 on the money line. We have Adrian Hauser for the Brewers, Yu Darvish for the Cubs. Darvish comes into this game with a 3-5 record, 4.46 ERA, and a 1.22 whip. Hauser on the other side for Milwaukee, 4-4 on the year, 3.99 ERA, 60 strikeouts in just 58 innings pitched. The Brewers are just 3 games back of first place in the division. They're also 2 games back in that second wild card spot. They're third in offensive walks on average per game. They're also 5th in offensive walks on the road. The Cubbies on the other side, 22nd in striking out, 20th in hits, 21st in striking batters out. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Brewers plus 1.5, getting the job done for some run line cash.